Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call this board meeting to order. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which we have a moment of silence. Oh, excuse me, before we do that. Today is July the 8th, and the time is 6:01. Now let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. And we do want to be mindful of those people in Texas. The death toll keeps going up, and so on. At this time, I entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I move that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
The motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King for the approval of the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. You've all had an opportunity to view the minutes as well as the work session for fiscal year 26 budget hearing. Are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, the minutes stand approved as written. Ms. Blackshear?
In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest or interest of such conflict. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we will proceed with our agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Blackshear. Board members, do any of you have any comments or remarks? Dr. Bullock?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, board members, good evening. And to all those who are with us in person and those that are joining us virtually, I do have a few announcements. I'd like to just keep the community aware our summer is quickly coming to a close. And please mark your calendars for our open house, which is scheduled for Saturday, August the 2nd. And that will be at all 3 schools. So you can spend the whole morning and afternoon with us. We typically start in the morning at 9 to 12 o'clock, and we don't typically go past that time. So please make sure you mark your calendars. Also, the first day of school will be Monday, August the 4th. And we also want parents and grandparents and guardians to be very, very watchful of your emails and your text messages. And if you're on social media, Facebook, the website, be on the lookout for an announcement coming from the school district for you to sign up for the Infinite Campus Parent Portal. The Parent Portal in Infinite Campus is a very, very important tool for you. It helps you see exactly what the grades are for your students in all of their classes real time. When assignments are given to students, it'll notify you on your phone and to your email, so you'll know when your children are receiving assignments and when the grades are given for those assignments. It also will notify you if an issue of misconduct happens at the school. It'll notify you that that issue has occurred and has been addressed. So we want to make sure that you have your parent portal access. So please be on the lookout through your email, text message, social media. It's a very simple process. Also, inside of that Infinite Campus, you will be able to sign, As you know, at the beginning of school, we send lots of papers home in the past for you all to sign. For example, media release packages, et cetera, health forms, those kinds of things we're also going to embed inside of Infinite Campus to give you a way to sign electronically. Now, we'll make them available to you in paper and pencil if you need it, but they will also be available electronically for you to sign. So we're making it convenient for you, making Infinite Campus a one-stop shop for parents in order to get all the pertinent information that you need for your students and to stay in contact with the school system. Mr. Chair, that concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Dr. Bullock. At this time, we're going to move into our business agenda, and Dr. Bullock, you have some district requests.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. We only have one fundraiser request, and it does align with our vision and our mission. The cheerleaders are asking to raise funds for the cheerleading program and to take care of those expenses. So in order to do that, they'd like to sponsor a fish fry for the community to come out and to support through the 9th of July through the 17th. Ms. Mia Hunt and the cheerleading squad will be sponsoring that fish fry. And again, the funds that they'll gather will be used to cover all of the fees that they need for the cheerleading season.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bullock. Is that at the school?
Yes, sir. It'll be at the school.
Okay. All right. Mr. Austin? Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Okay, you've heard the superintendent's request, district request for a fundraiser. Can I get a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the fundraiser request?
I make that motion.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, then all in favor, raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Mr. Austin.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board members, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bullock, constituents, in person and virtually. I am presenting for action tonight the 2025 Tax Anticipation Note, and it does align with our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It supports strategic plan goals 1 through 5, learning and wellness for all, excellence ahead, doing things the Twiggs way, growing and sustaining our village, and a premier people first organization. We reviewed this information in the last board meeting. The Bank of Dudley provided a letter of commitment for $875,000 for a tax anticipation note. It will support cash flow between July and October of 2025. It must be repaid in full before December 31st, 2025, and that is determined by the repayment term loans. And historically, we have paid the TAN before December 31st of each calendar year that we have received one. The interest rate will be 6% plus the $500 admin fee to be fully executed no later than July 31st. So on tonight, we'll be asking for an action on approving the tax anticipation note as we have in the past to support July through October expenditures. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Any questions? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the tax anticipation note, TAN?
I move to approve the TAN.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, The motion has been properly made by Ms. King and second by Mr. Rouse to approve the TAN. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Handbook?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Protocol has been established. Mr. Bacon, the principals, presented information, and the assistant principal presented information regarding the handbooks on our last board meeting. So I am bringing tonight for action our 2025-2026 student handbook. I'll do an overview to refresh and remind what we discussed and propose for action on tonight. Our strategic focus areas are 1 and 2, learning and wellness for all, and excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunity. Why did we update the handbook? We wanted to ensure we align with any amendments that took place this year according to Title 20. Consistent expectations and consequence district-wide is important. We wanted to ensure that we was transparent for families and staff and leverage technology for real-time communication, as Dr. Bullard has talked about one of those tools already in his superintendent updates. In addition, for unified discipline policies and outcomes, we wanted to ensure we had a uniform discipline code for the entire district, that there were tiered discipline to match behavior categories for clarity for stakeholders and parents, progressive discipline flow clarified, and to ensure it was age appropriate. The principal do retain discretion under Title 20, and the detailed due process and appeals for the tribunal process is outlined. We've already discussed the attendance protocol that was approved by you all as board members, so that has been included inside of the handbook, and this is to align with Senate Bill 123 that went into effect July 1, 2025. It clarifies excused versus unexcused and what medical documentation looks like in that window. There are early alerts at 3 and 5 unexcused absences, and there will be a conference required at absence number 7. Tiered intervention would take place before there's a legal referral, and it supports for chronically absent students. So there are interventions and support there if we see a pattern of behavior there. And Infinite Campus will also have auto notifications sent to parents and guardians if their child is absent, so they will be notified to prevent any other consequence. The electronic distribution via Infinite Campus, so the handbook will be embedded in Infinite Campus parent and student portal. We currently have student portals already, but the parent portal is what we're advertising and promoting, again, what Dr. Bullard suggested, so that they can have access to this document at all time and sign electronically. So the acknowledgement will be digital. They can sign within the portal. There will be push notification for updates and reminders about any policies. And we will have printed copies for families that have issues with internet or just difficulty managing the process. This is our first year. We have 50 copies at the elementary school. The Twiggs County Middle High School is one handbook, so there'll be 50 copies for the middle and 50 for the high school. So there'll be 100 copies total for each school with a total of 200. So to talk about what happened in June in our timeline, on June 24th, we had a board review for information item that Mr. Bacon, principal and assistant principal for each respective school presented. We had an admin review of the handbook and those changes. Then on the 30th, there was a handbook revision. July 1st, we sent a final draft to you all on the 1st of July. On the 7th, which was yesterday, we made more formatting changes, more visibility. We bolded a lot of important highlights as relates to grading and things of that nature to ensure parents see that. And we just changed some formatting to be consistent throughout the handbook, so we did that on yesterday. And on tonight, we are presenting for approval our 2025-2026 student handbook. Now, the handbooks will be released on July 28th, and what does this mean? That on tonight, when you approve it, the technology director and department will have the ability to load the published handbook in Infinite Campus real time within this week. And this will give us, the 28th will give us enough time to distribute printing. So we'll start the printing process and ensure that we have the right copies in the right place. So that's why the timeline is there, but we have the ability to release this real time once approved tonight. So are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
Are there any questions? If there are no questions at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the handbook, student handbook for the elementary, middle, and high school.
I move that motion.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Austin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Howe?
Good evening, Board Chair Christopher, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Dr. Bullock, everyone in person, everyone in person and virtually. Today I'll be talking about the Tweeds County PC Department FY25 review. Before that, we'll talk about our vision. It's generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. Our FY25 review will address three strategic goals: learning and wellness for all, excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities, and doing things the Tweeds way. Our highlights will be professional learning, evaluation, discipline, and transition. But before we get into that, let's talk about who we are. In our PC department, you have myself, Director of Student Services. You have Erica Williams, who's the lead teacher at the high school, Mia Hunt, who's the lead teacher at the middle school, and Caitlin Austin, the lead teacher at the Jeffersonville Elementary. Along with that, you have Ms. Laura Clark, who's this teacher at the high school with Mr. Owens. Mr. Cummings was teacher at the middle school, Ms. Allen, and Ms. Shawanda Stevens at JES. Support services, we have Ms. Aria Young, who's our school psychologist, Ms. Barbara Bryant, who's our parent engagement coordinator, Ms. Cynthia Reese, who's our occupational therapist, and our physical therapist comes from Mill Georgia Reese. First thing we'll address is talk about our professional learning for the FY25 year. Myself, I attended the Georgia Data Conference in August. Our National Case Conference is in November. Our Fall G-Case Conference in November. Our Spring G-Case Legal Conference in March. Our Science and Reading Conference in June, and our Federal Program Conference in June. Our department leaders, they went to the Letters Conference, Letters Workshop in Mill Georgia Risa, small group training, math training in Mill Georgia Risa, Spring G-Case Legal Conference, Science of Reading, Fall G-Case, Georgia Council for Exceptional Children, and SEL, the Special Education Leadership Development Academy. Our related services, they attended the Georgia Association of School Psychology, Special Olympics Planning Meeting, Transitions Meeting with Central Georgia Tech, and Fall G-Case. For the upcoming year, it'll be myself and several different teachers throughout different conferences. For FY26, it will be Georgia Data Collection Conference, Fall G-Case, Spring G-Case, and the Federal Programs Conference. Now I'll just talk about evaluations. As you can see, we had 100% completion in the timely manner between screeners, initial evaluations, re-evaluations, progress reports. And we made some efforts with Georgia Department of Education and 100% compliance with cross-functional monitoring. Our discipline. In 23-24, we had 34 PC students that received referrals. In 24-25, we had 19 PC students receive referrals. That's a 44% decrease in referrals in the year. Transition. We have 3 students who attended Hutchinson College and Career Academy. Georgia, we had 10 students who did Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. And Central Georgia Tech College did dual enrollment. We have 4 students participating in that. And 1 student did work-based learning. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Howell.
Yes, sir.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move into executive session where we will be discussing personnel matters or future acquisitions of property, pending potential litigation, school safety, and/or cybersecurity. Can I get a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion to move into executive session has been made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to return from executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King that we return from executive session. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the new hires, new hire number CID 5152?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King to accept the superintendent's recommendation for new hire CID 5152. Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, next, for the superintendent's recommendation for CID number 5223. Can I get a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for CID 5223?
I made the motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Mr. Butler and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation for CID 5223, raise your hand. Nays? Okay, the 3 yeas, 1 nay, and 1 abstain. Oh, you said yes. I'm sorry. All right, so four yes, one nay. Okay, thank you. Now, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I made the motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Okay, the motion to adjourn has been properly made by Mr. Butler, second by Mr. King. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. This meeting is adjourned.